Lesson 63 is about subtracting mixed numbers with regrouping. And the first problem we have is to subtract 5 1/2 minus 1 2/3. Now we know when we subtract fractions that we have to have the same denominator. So in order to do that, we have to find the least common multiple of 2 and 3. Do you know what the least common multiple of 2 and 3 would be? If we skip count, we'd have 2, 4, 6, 8. We'd have 3, 6, 9, 12, 6. Hopefully you heard the 6 both times as our least common multiple. So we're going to rewrite. We're going to get 5 and 3/6, because 3 is half of 6, just like 1 is half of 2, minus 1 and 4/6. Because we double both numbers in order to get 6. We're writing equivalent fractions. Now if we're going to subtract these, let's line them up vertically. So we're going to get 5 and 3/6 minus 1 and 4/6. When we go ahead and do this, the 5 minus 1, that would be easy, that would be a 4. But when we look at the fraction numerator, 3 minus 4, well, that's going to be a difficult one because that turns out to be a negative number. One way we can deal with that is to borrow and regroup. So what we're going to do is we're going to borrow from the 5 to get a 4. We're going to add one whole, and the whole here is out of 6. So we're going to add 6/6. When we add 6/6, we get a new problem. It's going to look like this now. We're going to get 4. We know 3 plus 6 is 9. And our denominator stays the same when we add fractions, so we get 4 9/6 minus 1 and 4/6. Borrowing and regrouping makes it a little bit easier to find our answer. So we've got 4 minus 1, that's 3. 9 minus 4 is 5. Denominator stays the same when we subtract fractions, so we've got our answer of 3 5/6. This method will work every time when we go through a problem that needs to borrow and regroup. Let's go ahead and look at another example. Okay, we have 5 1/2 minus 3 1/3. We've already found the least common multiple of 2 and 3. That was 6. So we're going to get 5 and 3/6 minus 3 and 2/6. We get 2/6 because we're doubling both numbers to write an equivalent fraction. Now we're going to set it up vertically. 5 and 3/6 minus 3 and 2/6. Well, when we look at this one, if we look at this one carefully, well, you don't need to borrow and regroup. You don't need to borrow and regroup because we can take 2 away from 3. So we're going to take the whole part. We're going to get 5 minus 3, that's 2. 3 minus 2, that's 1. And we keep our denominator the same as 6. So we've got the same answer. We've got 2 and 1/6. That's all that we have to do for this problem. Let's go ahead and look at our next example. Alright, we've got 4 1/4 minus 2 1/3. Let's skip count to find our least common multiple of 4 and 3. So we're going to have 4, 8, 12, 16. And then for 3, we'd have 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, we're going to stop there because we've already found our least common multiple. It's 12. So we're going to rewrite. We're going to get 4 and something out of 12 minus 2 and something out of 12. Now we've tripled 4 to get to 12, so we triple 1 to get to 3. We've quadrupled 3 to get to 12, so we quadruple 1 to get to 4. We're going to go ahead and write vertically now. We're going to get 4 and 3/12 minus 2 and 4/12. And we can see when we write vertically, 3 minus 4, well, we can go ahead and borrow and regroup to make it easier to solve. I'm going to borrow from the 4 to get a 3. The whole is 12, so we're going to add 1. That's the same as 12/12. Now let's go ahead and rewrite below. We're going to get 3 as our whole. 3 plus 12, that's 15. Denominator stays the same as 12. Minus 2 and 4/12. Now we can solve easily, because 3 minus 2 is 1. 15 minus 4 is 11. Denominator of 12 stays the same. So we've got an answer of 1 and 11/12. We can't reduce the fraction part, so we box it, and we're all done. Lesson practice will be on page 338. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.